but you're not going to be welcome in many corners. Do you experience that? Oh, Isaiah, according to tradition, this man Isaiah was cut in half, was sawed in half by King Manasseh because of his message. Try to represent God in the holy way, and not so many people will be happy with you. Oh, but if you are going to say, "Here I am, send me," you cannot pick your message. That's one thing about that. God will give you His message. And some people don't like that. That's why they either walk out of church, quit church, scratch my membership, all of that. Because they cannot stand the message of God. And then the duration, how long will you have to do this, Lord? Then I said, "Lord, how long?" Guess what God answered? And He answered, "Until cities are devastated and without inhabitant. Houses are without people, and the land is utterly desolate. The Lord has removed men far away, and the forsaken places are many in the midst of the land." Wow. God is simply saying, because this prophecy was fulfilled. When the Babylonians came and destroyed and flattened the whole city, burned it to the ground, take everybody exiles. Literally happened. But all we can say is that, how long should you be a spokesman for God? How long should you be God's mouthpiece? How long should you represent God? Until God's plan is finished. You see, God has a plan. He's looking for people who will accomplish His plan, who will announce His plan. People who will not change and water down what He says. And say, how long? Until I finish what I have purpose in my heart. Will that be 2020? I don't know. Maybe there's another year after 2020. The only question for this church and you and I is that, will we be faithful to the end? Isaiah did. He ministered to 4 kings. Change of administration doesn't change his mission. Change of policy doesn't change his mission. That should be your calling and my calling. Doesn't matter what people say, doesn't matter what year, your mission should always be the same. Until God is done with you or He's finished with His plan. Wow! So in closing, there is a promise in this story. Verse 13. Yet there will be a 10th portion in it, and it will again be subject to burning, like a terebinth or an oak, whose stump remains when it is felled. The holy seed is His stump. God gave Isaiah a promise. Regardless of how bleak and sad and destructive what you see in front of you, I got good news for you. God says there will always be those that will remain. I'm not going to finish everything. There will always be those who we call, what? The remnant. The remnant shall return. And they did return after 70 years. That's why when Jesus was born, they were there in Jerusalem and not somewhere in Babylon or in Persia, because they have returned. Oh, I'm telling you, there is someone who will be saved no matter what. There will always be people that God will preserve for Himself no matter what. Whether people will reject you, listen, in the end there will always be people who belongs to God because of your faithfulness, because of what you have responded to. It's all because of what? God's tender mercy. If you and I will make it through this 2020, I guarantee you one thing. It's only because of God's tender mercy. We made it through 2019 because of God's tender mercy. And we will make it all the way to the end. The rest of these who are called God's special people, the remnant, they will all be preserved because of God's tender mercy. The only question for is, are you and I going to be a tool of God in His hands to accomplish His purpose. So that people will, those that will be called the remnant, they will be part of it because you are faithful. You are faithful to deliver the message of God. You are faithful to represent God in the message last Sunday. That's a powerful message. A lot of people don't like to hear that message, and a lot of pastors don't like to deliver that message because they believe in what we call you don't want to offend people. You don't want to stumble people. Oh, but that's the message to Isaiah. You have to finish the job. Would you like to finish God's job for you 2020? I like to. That's why I told some people, you know what? I feel like God is setting me up for another level of how I walk. You feel that way also? That this 2020 there is another level where you and God can walk together. This church, I hope that will happen. Father in heaven, we thank you that we're here this morning looking ahead of what's this 2020 will become. Only one thing we know. You are still seated on the throne. You are still calling people to represent you. You're still longing for people who would say, I am here. Send me. There are still going to be people called the remnant who will be true to the end. Oh, it's our joy, Lord, that we are guaranteed to make it to the end because you are most gracious, most merciful. You already save people for yourself, regardless of what. They are called your beloved in some passage of the Bible. They are called heir with Christ in some passage of the Bible. They are called the holy ones of God. One thing is true. They are special people. And I thank you, Lord, for this church, for the people here this morning, because they are all special to you. It cost the life of your Son to save them from their sins for thy glory. We thank you in Jesus' name.